God designed this world with a built-in capacity for more. He designed it so that new things could grow, that new life could be born into it. Maybe you don't usually think about it, but God didn't have to design the world that way. He could have created it so that what was always the same, but He built in the capacity for more. So when you plant a seed in the ground, it grows, and most of the things that grow have more seeds built into them, so the cycle can continue. It's the way God designed plants to work, and the same principle applies in many other areas of life as well. You see, we plant seeds by where we invest our time. We plant seeds by the way we interact with the people in our lives, through our words and our actions toward them. We're all planting seeds all the time, and those seeds grow into the life that we experience. The same principle applies to the Bayou Church as a whole. The reason we're here today, the reason we have small groups where we can find community, the reason we have these incredible facilities where people can come to know God, the reason we can make a difference in Acadiana and around the world is because a group of people planted seeds decades ago. They planted the seeds of their time, their resources, and their faith, and we're reaping the benefits today. Emily and Jake have been a part of the Bayou Church for more than a decade. Their story is a perfect example of how we are benefiting today from seeds that were planted decades ago, and how we can plant seeds now that will shape the future for decades to come. Take a look.
I grew up in the church about 30 minutes from here, was real active there, then headed off to vet school, which is where we met. After graduating, we both moved back here together to Lafayette and had a little bit of a unique season there where we weren't as connected. We moved here and then we had probably a little more than 6 months where we weren't really in a church at all.
I think towards the end of 2010 or the beginning of 2011, we wanted to try the Bayou out. So we were new parents. Just had like our little 3 or 4 month old baby girl, and so bringing her to like a nursery and all that stuff, we were like kind of nervous about doing that. But we walked up, and I think it was Miss Becky who she was like, "Y'all come on," and
she
brought
gave us
her
a
back,
tour.
gave us a tour, and helped us get her set up in the nursery, and we felt so comfortable, and we never looked back.
I wanted it to be a place where I could invite a coworker or one day when our kids are older and they want to bring friends to church, a place where people who have absolutely no church background, don't know what to expect, can come and it not feel just totally weird or uncomfortable. So I think we felt that from the beginning. And then as our time at the Bayou has progressed, I feel like that has become even more on the forefront, just making guests feel welcome, first of all, and then also at ease and comfortable.
Yeah, we really love the kids ministry. That was the thing originally kind of got us in here. And as we were walking through as the years would go by and we kept having more and more kids, it was kind of like, this is a place that as a family we can keep going, the kids can get connected, and have a place to be involved in.
We've both been a part of and led small groups ever since we've been here. That has been the most influential springboard for what God has done in my life and in our family.
Since we've been at the Bayou, we've gone through so many, transitions, whether it's just all, having the children, going through the process of beginning to foster, going through the waves of that, them just being there with us through that, as we would go to small group and be able to talk about those things. And, sometimes when you're in a low spot, you're having a rough time, and then you come in and they kind of just it's like they recharge your batteries, just being with them.
When it comes to giving, our harder yes was in January 2020. We said yes to fostering a set of twins, and that was a harder yes with a limited resource of our time and energy. We felt assured that God led us that direction, but had no idea how we were going to be able to do that. And every day there's enough energy. You might wake up thinking, how are we going to get through this day? But every day you go to bed, you got through it. and He always provides. The seasons where I've been most involved with a particular ministry at the church, whether that was leading a small group or jumping in with a women's conference or whatever it may be, those have been the times when I've grown most myself. So the blessing was poured back forth to me in the serving. So it's provided me with so much spiritual growth. I'm excited to think about where we'll be decades from now in our own family, just as a result of being connected with the Bayou, and then the Bayou itself. In that new foyer space where I'm gonna be able to see my youngest maybe still heading off to the kids ministry here, seeing our friends that we invited to church who are now connected, like hanging out over here by First Steps because they're about to go in, and somebody maybe we just invited and they're at the guest center and I can see them right there, and not missing people who we used to be on other sides of the church. Like, I just love the thought of the community, the way that it's going to connect us.
The first time we came, the first connection was that preschool area. Well, that was built like 10 years before we got there. I think that was built like in 2001. And I think about how I didn't know that. I just showed up and there it was. And thinking ahead of how many people are going to be coming, and that's going to be their first time, and all this stuff has been laid out to know that we can be a part of the next people who have 7 kids and come in.
We're so thankful they gave. And I hope that years from now, someone can be thankful that we gave.
Yeah.
As you're considering what you will commit to give over the next 2 years, we want you to remember this principle of planting and reaping. You will reap a harvest in the future, no matter what types of seeds you choose to plant. That's simply the way that God created the world to work. My prayer for you personally is that you will respond in faith and plant seeds now that will yield a harvest of the deep, rich, full life that Jesus wants for you. And my prayer is that together, as the Bayou Church, we will plant the seeds now that produce a harvest of families healed, needs met, and lives transformed throughout Acadiana and beyond. Welcome to week 5 of Decades.